Hujambo. Now, the coastal region, like many other regions in Kenya, is water scarce.
Toka 2015 tumeanza kupitia shida nyingi sana za maji.
Na maji ya Budha shilingi 10,000 ya 17,000 liters.
Maji hakuna. Watu wanagura kwa nyumba kwa sauri ya maji.
The coastal region comprises 6 counties. The ever-increasing population, a thriving tourism sector, businesses and manufacturing plants are putting pressure on water resources and sanitation facilities in these counties.
Mimi naitwa Robert Simiyu, nina umri wa miaka 53, ni mkaaji wa Miritini. Ninafanya kazi ya kuuza maji wa kusavia wateja, lakini sasa tumekuwa ukosefu wa maji. Tuna miezi 2.5. Maji ya Mombasa yote hayaonekana. Na maji ya Budha shilingi 10,000 ya 17,000 liters.
Toka 2015 tumeanza kupitia shida nyingi sana za maji. Hata migongo inauma, miguu inauma. Saa zingine unapata watoto hata karibia waende shuleni kama hawajaoga.
Nyuma pale alikuwa maji yanakuja once per week. Tulikuwa watu wanapata, na siku hizi haipatikani. Saa nyingine maji yakifunguliwa na kuja 1 hour alafu na katika. Hiyo ni maji ya hata maji ya kunywa hawezi kutosa watu. Maji kama nakuja estate 1 hour, hiyo ni maji.
We rely on sources that are outside our boundaries. And I know that climate change is playing a critical role in to make sure our water levels are going down and down. So as we progress, things are getting harder and harder. And of course, population is also growing.
The coastal region is currently supplied by 3 water sources: Mzima Springs in Taita Hills, Marere and Tiwi in Kwale, and Baricho in Kilifi.
Currently, the region, the whole region, that is the 6 counties, require around 439,000 cubic meters of water per day, while all the sources are able to give us only around 250,000 cubic meters per day.
A big challenge indeed over the years. However, for the residents of Kwale and Mombasa counties, there is hope in the air. Yes, you see what is happening here? This is the construction of a new dam that is coming up. It is known as Mwache Dam, and when complete, the dam is expected to resolve that crisis. The Mwache Dam project, a monumental step towards securing water access for Mombasa and Kwale counties, aims to transform lives and landscapes. Its story, though technical, is rooted in the hopes and dreams of the local communities and the future of sustainable water management. The project is financed through a World Bank loan facility of $243.2 million provided to the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation under the Coastal Region Water Security and Climate Resilience Project.
So World Bank's vision is ending poverty on a livable planet. And a planet is livable when there is clean air, clean water and clean energy in a world free of fragility, pandemic and climate crisis. This project, the Coastal Water Security and Resilience Project, under which the Mwache Dam is being built, this water storage capacity will allow you to store more water when it rains and use that water, especially when you have a dry spell.
The Mwache Multipurpose Dam is a roller compacted concrete RCC gravity dam, the first of its kind and the largest in Kenya and East Africa. This dam will harness the flood waters from the Mwache River Basin. The project covers 2,475 hectares located in Kinango Sub-County, Kwale County. The project features transformative infrastructure, including the main dam, lower and upper check dams, access roads, an administration block, and a fully operational base camp. Its irrigation component will bring 1,000 acres of farmland under cultivation, directly benefiting over 2,000 farmers, boosting agricultural productivity and laying the foundation for growth, prosperity, and a sustainable future.
Where we are right now is at the main dam. So the upper check dam is about 25 kilometers from here. The dam is primarily meant to reduce the sediment that is getting into the main dam, and that dam will also be used to provide water for irrigation for the upstream communities. Now coming down, we have the lower check dam. Lower check dam is about 15 kilometers from here. Again, the lower check dam is meant for silt management, and its capacity is about 8 million cubic meters. And most of this, probably by every year, will have sediments that are accumulating, but this will be removed every year. Then from the lower check dam, you come to the main dam, and the main dam is 127 million cubic meters, and it's an RCC dam that will be 84 meters high, and we expect that in probably 2 seasons, upon completion, it will be full, and now we'll be able to utilize water downstream. Now, after the main dam, we have the intake tower. From that intake tower, water will flow to a pumping station beyond the main dam, and from the pumping station, it will be pumped up to a water treatment plant. Then we have 3 lines, one going to South Mainland, one going to the mainland, and the other one going to West Mainland. And those components of the projects are not funded under the Mwache component. They are funded by French Development Agency, AFD, and also European Investment Bank, that is EIB, but being implemented by our sister State Department for Water and Sanitation, through Coast Water Works Development Agency.
The Coast Development Authority played a critical role in proposing the dam.
Water is an enabler. It enables a lot of developments to happen. Without water, you cannot do farming. You cannot even settle people there. The livestock is suffering. Even the vegetation is suffering. So most of the coastal region is actually asal, is semi-arid. The lower belt is very green, but as you go beyond the 15 kilometers or 15 miles from Maziras upwards, all the way to Taita Hills, it's very, very arid.
The construction of the Mwache Multipurpose Dam officially began in the year 2023. While the project's contract was signed in August 2018, construction was delayed for several years as the contractor awaited the completion of the government's land compensation process.
Mwache Dam itself, on completion, it will be generating at least 186,000 cubic liters of water to Mombasa County. That will address greatly the shortage of water in Mombasa County. The coverage of water currently, based on the demand, is 25%. So you have a huge deficit of 75%. So Mwache Dam seeks to actually address that issue. And as a result, we'll now have a little bit of some savings from other counties on the water that used to come to Mombasa. A case in example is Baricho. Baricho before was supplying Mombasa County and supplying Kilifi County. So on completion of Mwache, the supply that was going to Mombasa County will now remain in Kilifi County, meaning now Kilifi will have sufficient water.
The number 2 system is the Mzima pipeline. Mzima pipeline is in Taita Taveta County. The pipeline is around 220 kilometers long. It serves basically Taita Taveta County. It also serves Kwale County. It also serves Kilifi County, and finally Mombasa County. We are able to produce 40,000 cubic meters from the Mzima system. Unfortunately, it's quite old because it was commissioned in 1953.
And in addition, in Kwale County, though this now is not directly connected to the dam, but it's a component that was in the dam, we have the Malele Spring, which currently has been giving Kwale County 1,000 cubic liters per day. In this program, we have actually enhanced the capacity of that project with another 8,000 to make it have a total production of 9,000 cubic liters per day. So by so doing, Mwache will have addressed the domestic issue of water very comfortably.
The construction of the main dam and Mwache Dam is being undertaken by a Chinese contractor, Sino Hydro Corporation. The contractor is also implementing the construction of 3 affected schools, the base camp, access roads, a police post, and a clinic in Mazeras. These works are expected to be completed in the year 2027.
According to our updated schedule, up to now our set progress is going well. According to current program, our main dam will RCC complete before end of May of next year. That means 2026, and complete all the works, include the auxiliary works, maybe end of September 2027, complete all the projects. Yes, Mwache Dam, up to now, remaining about some concrete works, about 30,000 cubic meters for concrete. Our planning before end of this year, complete all the remaining works for the Mwache Dam. Our planning end of this year, other building for the base camp will complete. The houses include the junior house about 23 and the senior house about 12. We first hand over senior house. Yes. Also include some other building. For example, reception of some club or some electrical building. Yes, yes. For school, up to now we have 3 schools: Fulgani School, Mwache ECD, and Nguni School. The biggest is Fulgani School. We just focus on the Fulgani School. Our planning before end of August, we complete this one. Also the Nguni School, our planning end of September, complete all the works. ECDE about end of July, we will complete. Also, our base camp include the clinic and the police post. Our clinic now is just completed that foundation. Now is pitching that the wall. And our planning before end of August, we can complete.
The project aims to enhance economic growth, resilience, and the well-being of future generations.
Mwache is going to be a big supply boost. It's a big project for Mombasa residents because the projection by 2030 is around 300 and above cubic meter a day, and we're expecting 180,000 from that would come from Mwache Dam. So almost everyone in Mombasa knows about Mwache Dam.
The water security project, which is funding Mwache Dam, is also funding water supply improvement for Kwale Town. So as a result of the funding from that project, we are going to see more water coming to Kwale Town with infrastructure which is developed with funding from the Mwache Dam project or the water security project. Equally, we are in anticipation of the project. We're improving the infrastructure in the area which is next to the Mwache Dam project to be able to serve our people well.
Then health of the people and the economic livelihood of the people will be improved. The 10th output is actually employment creation through value addition of the produce from irrigation. When we are doing the stakeholder engagement in the conceptualization of the Mwache Dam, irrigation was actually the component that made the people to accept the Mwache Dam project. Without irrigation, it will be very difficult to satisfy the expectations of the community. In the economic evaluation of the project, irrigation was the most economically viable part of the project because food in the coastal region is outsourced from other regions in Kenya.
I envision that this is going to be a food provider rather than a food importer. This catchment is endowed with very fertile soils. The only thing is sufficient water, the right way of farming, and they have Mombasa City with a very sizable population of urban dwellers that need food. Mombasa is only less than 20 kilometers from many of these areas. So the farmers in this catchment are potential suppliers of food items to the city here and other parts of the country. And importantly, there are vegetables and fruits that can be grown in this region that can be exported.
Itanitia moyo sana kwa sababu sasa at least nitakuwa nimepumzishwa mambo ya maji. Usafi utarudi katika mtaa na katika nyumba zetu tutapata usafi. Choo zetu zitaacha kukunuka. Na pia siweji zetu at least najua ya kwamba pia zitakuwa zinapeleka maji. Unajua saa hii siweji zina block kwa sababu uchafu unakuwa mwingi sana. Sababu hakuna maji ya kutosha ya kupeleka ule uchafu. Kwa hivyo hiyo project itatusaidia sana kama wana Mikindani na pia Mombasa yote tutashukuru na tutafurahia sana.
My name is George Mukaya Swanya. I'm the chairman of South Coast Resident Association and also an investor in the hospitality industry in the South Coast. Hotels and other hospitality institutions have been forced to get more containers, try to put up big tanks such that you can be able to store much of the water. But that has not been the case. It's not sufficient. So most institutions have been forced to put up their own boreholes or wells such that they can be able to cover the gap that is left. Sadly, most of the wells are saline, so they're pretty salty. So yes, most investors have been forced to put up desalination plants so that they can clean as much water, and also trying to tap on the rainwater to cover the gap. But I understand now that the government is currently working on the Mwache Dam, which is a big blessing, and that will give quite a big boost to the current supply system. I mean, we are looking forward to the project.
Kusema kweli, hii furaha ya mradi ni sababu gani? Ikishazibwa hii maji, ikishakamilika mpaka ikisto ile maji imesimama pale, kuna watalii watakuja, na watalii wakija lazima kila mmoja mwenye biashara yake atapata mafanikio.
For a successful implementation of the dam project, community members had to be involved with the support of their leaders.
Kwa vile mradi huu uko katika sehemu yangu, nimehusika kujaribu kuwa sauti na kuwa mwasilishi wa ujumbe kutoka kwa mradi mpaka kwa wananchi na kutoka kwa wananchi mpaka kwa mradi vile vile.
The project aligns with Kenya's Vision 2030 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 6.
Vision 2030 has 3 pillars: political, social and economic. In this case, Mwache taps into the economic and social pillars, whereby we have talked about availability of water, improving the livelihoods, irrigation, food security, economic. There is the recreation that comes with a large water mass. We have a microclimate that is formed around whenever there is a large water mass around. It also speaks to the global agenda of the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals number 6 directly, provision of water and sanitation services. So when Mwache comes into play, because there will be supply of water around, so we also achieve that. Also, we have what we call the Irrigation Act, and this also ties it up with our medium-term development goals for the ministry. These development medium goals, we are talking about developing systems that are climate resilient.
Beyond water security, the project is empowering communities through local job creation, improved livelihoods, inclusive planning, and sustainable programs like livelihood restoration by prioritizing local labor and fostering partnerships. They are also gaining training on investment and livelihood restoration programs. Mwache Dam is therefore not just a technical marvel, it's also a story of transformation, capturing the delicate balance between development, sustainability, and community well-being. This dam is a game changer. It will secure water for generations to come, ensure that business can thrive, and help mitigate the impacts of climate change.
What is important for the success of such a project of high magnitude is collaboration, close collaboration, because this is a project that involves so many players. And this one, I must say, that has enabled us to move on and to ensure that the project progresses well. So my part in short is just the other team players, the county government, the contractor themselves, Hydro, the ministry, the local leadership, and the community at large, and us as the security team. It's my wish and my prayer that we continue working as a team, continue collaborating very closely, so that we ensure that this baby is born.
Our focus solely is, and our hope is, that Mwache comes sooner rather than later.
Water in itself is a natural resource that is required for growth of any region. So with more water available to the people of Kwale, more water available to the people of Mombasa, more water available to the people of Kilifi, we can spark industrial growth.
Great. They say water is life, and as you heard there, this Mwache Dam project is expected to have a great impact on livelihoods in Kwale and Mombasa counties. Many thanks for watching. Let's do it again next time.